British Prime Minister Theresa May has visited the city of Salisbury a year after the poisoning of former Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. 12 months on, and the finger is still squarely pointed at Moscow, although it claims the UK is failing to provide any answers, even to the simplest of questions regarding the case. For more, we can now cross live to RT's Polly Boyka, who's in Salisbury for us. Polly, give us a sense of what people in the city now feel a year on.
Well, Theresa May's commemorated the anniversary of the attack against the Skripals. She's visited Salisbury, and earlier she put out a statement saying that she commended the work of all those that took part in the decontamination efforts after everything took place in the investigations, and also she praised the resilience of the residents of Salisbury who have had to endure a pretty eventful year. I've been talking to some of the people here, and many of them say they're still processing what happened. Take a listen.
Someone, was always going to say, it's Novichok, Salisbury, and put the two together. It's a shame, but hopefully in time that'll disappear, and we can just get on with it, being Salisbury.
Well, I mean, not really good attention, I suppose, but it's kind of made people sort of see Salisbury again.
I parked my bike around there the other day and I forgot to take my water bottle with me, so I just went straight back and threw it away. So I wouldn't pick anything up anymore. Not at all. It's taught us all a lesson.
I'm sure the decontamination is complete, etc. I don't think Salisbury's the same.
Well, 1 year ago, you'd be hard-pressed to find many people outside the UK that knew much about the town of Salisbury, or perhaps the height of the spire of the famous cathedral here. But the attack against the Skripals that took place here put this place on the map, and the international scandal that ensued has really ensured that Salisbury has stayed rather famous. It was here, it was actually on a park bench on this green that on the 4th of March last year, Sergei and his daughter Yulia Skripal were discovered slumped, unconscious. They were taken to hospital, and pretty soon afterwards it became clear that this wasn't an ordinary medical incident that they were dealing with. The Skripals had been poisoned with military-grade nerve agent, a substance known as Novichok that had been produced in the Soviet Union. And pretty soon after that, the Prime Minister Theresa May pinned the finger of blame squarely on Moscow, and there were diplomatic expulsions, and a war of words ensued over what really had taken place here. London says the Kremlin dispatched a hit squad to come here. Russian military agents arrived in Salisbury, they say, shortly before the poisoning took place. They were armed with a toxic nerve agent, and this is something that Moscow denies and continues to press for information and access to the investigation, saying that actually 2 Russian nationals are involved here and we know nothing about what's happened to them. Take a listen to the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson.
If people in the West, in the UK, in Washington, in Brussels, think Russia will just let this slide, they are mistaken.
Sergei Skripal's niece, Victoria Skripal, has also been talking at a press conference in Moscow, and she says that she still can't get hold of her relatives, and she's been denied any information about how they're doing or their whereabouts. Take a listen.
The British Embassy have been telling me since day one that it cannot help me, that I have to call the Russian Embassy in the UK. Under pressure from the media, they agreed to let me make a visa application. But I was refused a visa twice on formal reasons. And they even didn't return my passport to me personally. They sent it via mail. I'm prohibited to even stay near the border of Britain.
So diplomatic relations between London and Moscow are still pretty much at rock bottom, and this scandal is the cause of much of the animosity between London and Moscow. And with the decontamination here declared complete, 1 year on, the town of Salisbury is at least attempting to turn over a new leaf.